Welcome back to the Crypto Wave. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the delay. I was going to actually try to live stream or do a video when the Piggy Bank relaunched, but unfortunately I was not feeling well. There was life and who knows, maybe I got the vid. Couldn't tell you. I probably sound a little weird. My nose has been runny. It's been a whole thing. However, let's get into it. Piggy Bank has officially relaunched. I personally think it went down without a hitch. There were people freaking out saying they didn't get what they're supposed to get. I think you actually did. Unfortunately, in my opinion, the Pigpen, the one thing I would say I'm not super impressed with, I will say that this is going down slower, which is the BUSD Vault. The BUSD Vault started at about 2. He pumped it up to about 2, he meaning Forex. It's about 1.7, which isn't too bad given the days that it's been running. It's down about 300, just almost 300,000. The claimable, so the BUSD rewards, I'm trying to figure out an equation. As you guys know, I actually had a spreadsheet that was calculating what you get per, BUSD per pig per day. And honestly, I'm going to try and do the same thing, except he added a lot of other variables and they're not active yet. Because as you guys know, the farm is not active yet, so we're still not gaining any kind of dogs or anything of that nature. He has to still do the migration from version 1 over here. So if you notice that there's a farm tab here on the old website, new website, no farm yet. So we're waiting for that. Once that comes, because a lot of the farming deposits, withdrawals, and things from the farm actually feed into this BUSD value feeding into it. So this is purely Piggy Bank and Pigpen, if I'm not mistaken. Cool thing is there is now pigs being distributed. It's I want to say 3%. We'll have to double check on that. But I'm kind of curious what that would equate to. So I only have 0.02. Pigs right now is about 191. It peaked about 220, 221 on a bit of a downtrend. But if anybody's following the market, whether it be crypto, NASDAQ, Dow, anything in the financial world right now is crumbling. So I'm not super worried about it. This is actually the time that I'm just going to be compounding the bejesus out of this. I haven't done anything yet. So this $51 is since it relaunched, which was last Thursday. So this is about a week worth of rewards. So $51 a week. Not a whole lot, but this thing isn't fully up and running yet. We got to wait for those farms to come across, which he is working on. Piggy Bank itself, so as you know, there is still the gifting option that you can actually send LPs. I actually have some LPs left over. It got airdropped to my wallet just as he said it was going to be. All of mine came back across just as they were. So as you guys know, if you saw my video when Pigpen first launched for the few days, I did do my very, very first stake as no time lock. So I can basically either compound or withdraw this. My current strategy is going to be compound Monday through Friday and then remove Saturday, Sunday, just so I do gain some value. And this has been about I'd say 165, 175 a day, give or take. Maybe a little bit more. I'll have to double check. I compound in another 2 hours. So $166 for 22 hours. We can calculate it out, but I'm not really going to fiddle with that right now. Each stake went in a little bit later than the previous one, so each one was a little bit less of value, but it also has, you were later down the line when the available or the piglet ratio was a little bit off. Now, I did do, my original plan was going to do a stake every Thursday. Every Thursday for 2 months. Well, I goofed up, actually. I ended up doing one that was for 2 weeks. By accident. So that's why you see this one 6 days and 17 hours. This was actually supposed to be the first 2-month stake. Unfortunately, I goofed up, but you know what? It's going to be done in a week's time. But tomorrow I'm going to do another one. So I've actually switched. I'm going to do it every Friday. So every Friday I'm going to put a 2-month stake in. I have 56 pigs of BUSD LPs available. Not a whole lot. I might just do 10 each time. This one was actually 20, if I'm not mistaken, and it got me about 135 piglets. And I've been compounding about $20 a day on it. But that's a little bit less of a bonus and everything because I ended up putting 2 weeks as opposed to 2 months like I was going to. So what I may end up doing is every Friday I'll do 10 BUSD, pig BUSD. If I don't gain any more, I might buy some more as I cash these out or something. But I'll do 10, which will give me 5 weeks worth, which is almost what I need. I actually need about 8 weeks worth. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to buy some more Pigs BSD. Point being is I want to do one every week for staked for 2 months each, and then come at the end of 2 months, the first one I staked will come available, bonuses and all, and I will then be able to cash out. I'll be at that bonus point with all of the bonuses attributed to it, and then I can actually take some of that profit off the table and then restake it for another 2 months every Friday. So basically every Friday I will have a maturing piggy bank that I can then either compound in, restake it, or pull that profit out and stake a little bit. You know, we'll see how it plays out. No referrals, which is fine. I didn't really dig into referrals. If anybody's watching this and wants to do a referral, awesome. I'll put the link in the bottom. But I'm trying to do this either way, with or without assistance. I've never been one to push referrals and things like that. But it's always appreciated. It'd be nice. So that is the Piggy Bank and Pigpen. Not a whole lot. I mean, I know if you go into the chat, there's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of questions. But, you know, honestly, it all depends on whether you're in this for the long haul. Some people want to pull out. At the moment, anything you deposited. So I deposited 29 pigs into here. I had that from version 1. I bought it super cheap when it first launched. And then you're only able to, if you wanted to pull out of the piggy bank, you can only pull out 2% per day. Now I've been in 7 days, so I would imagine I would be able to pull out, what would that be? That'd be 10% of this if I wanted to. But honestly, my goal is to keep compounding. I want to just build this little savings account here. So it's $50 at the moment. I'm not even going to touch it. We're just going to let it keep rolling. Maybe I'll give it a month. I just want to keep an eye on it and see. Although what I may end up having to do is actually that's a good question. I might pull this out and then every 24 hours see what this value is, which would be an easier way to track BUSD per pig per day average, you know, because there's going to be a lot of variables. It's going to be based on in and out of piggy bank, in and out of Pigpen. It's going to be based out of in and out of dog farms once those are live. But my last spreadsheet was pretty average anyways, but it'll give us a general idea of what we're dealing with. And I can also do that for pigs also if need be. So every time I claim this and zero it every 24 hours, I can just basically get like a moving average. Yeah, it's a good idea. Okay. Anyway, so really the next big thing that we're waiting for is farms to come up. We need a migration tool for that. He is currently working on it. Drip, it bottomed out about, $17, something along those lines. Currently $18. In this particular one, I've just been compounding the bejesus out of it. In fact, let's go ahead and just compound this one right now. Trying to build this up as much as I can because I think there's a lot of good stuff coming with drip. People don't realize, and I know we're in a down market, so it's really hard to hold and it's really hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel. But, you know, all of these, I've been through all of these bear cycles, and some of them last a long time. Some of them last a year, some of them last 2 years, some last, 6 months. But one thing that I typically regretted was I'd always end up freaking out selling the bottom. Things drop down, you see your overall value going down, you want to sell it to preserve that value. But you know what? If you're in a legit project and you have faith that it's going to be long term, there's no harm in holding it. Now, if you are holding some of these BS coins that came out that you were chasing and they're kind of the meme coins that really have no utility and no purpose, well, then you're absolutely right. You probably should just cut your losses. But that's just me. Things like Drip, in my opinion, though, this thing is just getting started. He's already got partnerships announced. In fact, he just announced one on the YouTube channel the other day. The single asset staking that he's been talking about is going to be on ApeSwap, which is pretty good. I don't know the numbers, but I would imagine it's at least second or third in Binance in regards to volume behind PancakeSwap. But with that too, Drip, he's also going to be working on the Drip Scratchers, which is going to bring utility. It's going to bring value. He hasn't even touched base on the peer-to-peer lending with Drip. Now, I personally have seen lending. I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. But I want him to do something a little bit more unique, which I think he's going to do. There's a ton of lending protocols. In fact, even ApeSwap has lending available on their site. And I looked at it, and in reality, it gives you fairly low APY. It's, depending on the asset that you put in, it's about 2 to 6%, 2 to 8%. But only 43% of what is on there to be lended is being borrowed at the moment. And that's just one site. There's a ton of sites that offer lending. it doesn't mean that people are just going to, you're going to put collateral out there and everybody's going to take all your collateral and start lending it out or start borrowing it out and you're going to start earning APY. There's so many places to lend from a lot of these pools. These lending pools are only 20-30% utilized. The rest is just sitting there. It's not, and you're only going to gain APY if somebody is actually borrowing against your value that you put into it. So with that being said, I know Forex is very much forward thinking. I would imagine he's got something in line for drip. And I know he mentioned that the lending, he actually wants it as more of a peer-to-peer lending as opposed to going into a protocol, which a lot of these places do. So I think that's pretty big and it might change it up a little bit. But that's definitely bullish on the price. He's got other things lined up through the NFT marketplaces and things like that. He's mentioned so many things that he's working on that is going to benefit the Drip network itself as well as the animal farm. He also had started mentioning about wanting to do, people were asking, would you be on other chains with all this stuff? And he said, you know what? I would like to create a bridge so people could, utilize this as a bridge to go to and from. But the main source he wants is on a tried and true DeFi chain such as Binance chain. So, but if he did create some type of a throughput bridge from chain to chain, those values and those fees will likely start getting fed into Piggy Bank, Pigpen, Animal Farm as a whole, and Drip as a whole. So lots of things to be bullish on is basically the point of what I'm trying to get at here. I am still a firm believer. I have been compounding. In fact, my little play on this of saying compound Monday through Friday, I've actually compounded through the weekend. So I've compounded every day that I've had this. I'm too early to compound at the moment. I got another hour and a half before I can compound because you can only do it once a day. But with that being said, Saturday will probably be the first time that on this one, I pull what I can, while all these other ones I'm going to keep compounding. So the only one that I can technically pull on is this guy right here because there's no time lock on it. So that is Piggy Bank in a nutshell. That's updates. That is everything I can think of. Hang in there. I know it looks dismal. I know everybody's probably nervous. Like I said, my play is hold on to what you think is going to be good and has solid project and solid utility. Any of those meme coins that you're chasing, that you're hoping, although the communities may be very hyped, they're basically trying to hype it so they can sell their bag also. I personally don't want to end up holding a bag of a meme coin. So I sold a lot of the things that I've been holding on to that were not really worth following and don't really have a lot of action going forward in regards to development, roadmaps, those kinds of things. So, all right, guys, that's all I can think of. So please like, subscribe. If you haven't already, spread the word. Send this to people you think would benefit. I've done a bazillion videos on this. It is a solid project, in my opinion. If there's anything that has been proven from Forex and his team is that they do deliver on what they promise. Although, yes, there is some delays sometimes. They do deliver what they say. So with that, I hope everybody's having a great week. I hope everybody's feeling well and doing well. And I thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.